The Canadian Telecom Oligopoly. Can it survive? Back after some spring cleaning we did, we bring you a story by David Moscrop, a writer and political commentator for Jacobs. That story's coming up next on today's episode of Telecom NewsBytes, brought to you by 911 and 4. Delivering next-generation 911 solutions for the enterprise compliance with Kerry's Law and the Ray-Bombs Act today, and making every second count when it matters most. Now here's your news bite for Monday, May 30th, 2022. While two of Canada's behemoth telecoms are planning a merger, Canadians are already paying some of the highest prices in the world for broadband and wireless service. And in Moscrop's opinion, a ready-made solution already exists in one of the country's provinces. What is it? Nothing other than a state-owned service provider. In 2021, Shaw and Rogers, two of the country's three behemoth telecom firms, announced plans to merge in a deal worth $26 billion Canadian. Why? Well, according to the companies, emerging technologies and the need for the capital investments required to make the rollout work. Capacity, productivity, and efficiency would follow, of course. Jobs would be protected naturally, so prices would remain competitive. Basically, nothing to see here. Oh, and don't bother trying to open the trench coat to take a peek at the bandits inside, counting all your money and having a laugh. In early May, Canada's Competition Bureau surprised some by filing court applications to block the merger, citing a concern over higher prices, poorer service quality, and fewer choices. Now, the Competition Bureau doesn't exactly have an accomplished record of fostering competition, but the country's telecoms present such an egregious case of above-market returns that the Bureau was forced to sit up and notice. Allegedly, the proposed merger will make matters even worse for consumers. Even industry folks agree. As one analyst put it, Rogers' acquisition of Shaw could mean job losses, deteriorating customer service, and less competition. Rogers and Shaw are fighting back, however, with every intention to proceed with the deal. And they've got a good shot at winning. Canada's big telecom companies are experts at holding the country hostage. They not only control market services, they also own the infrastructure that make those services possible. They're the companies that chart the course for the infrastructure expansion. And they're happy to use expansion and improvement as a pawn in negotiations with regulators. If you're placing a bet on telecom competition in the country, you'll never go broke betting against consumer interests. Although there's some hope that the state will block the merger, another billionaire oligarch is circling the deal like a buzzard. Freedom Mobile, a wireless service owned by Shaw, is up for sale as part of the package. All the better to bring more competition to the market, right? Now think again. Head of media company Quebecor Incorporated, Pierre-Carl Pelledu, supports the Competition Bureau's attempt to halt the deal, but not out of the kindness of his heart. The Montreal-based company has options to meet its objective of expanding wireline service outside of its Quebec footprint, among them potentially acquiring Shaw's Freedom Mobile wireless division, which currently has operations in Alberta, British Columbia, and Southern Ontario, and now appears to be up for grabs. The Competition Bureau is arguing that the sale of Freedom is insufficient to protect consumers. Sadly, whenever the Canadian state concedes that there's a problem with the country's telecom industry, it never proposes serious solutions. Politicians could discuss another tactic: state intervention in the marketplace by way of national ownership of the telecom infrastructure. Federal or provincial crown corporations providing direct services to consumers. Instead, they'll timidly try to guilt the big three telecom companies into cheaper, subpar plans. Now, it's not like the idea of direct state intervention is without precedent. In Saskatchewan, SaskTel is Crown-owned and a firm that's been around in one form or another for over 100 years. Currently serves over 1 million consumers and earned a profit of over 130 million Canadian just in 2020 and 2021. State industry is a long shot, though. Canada can't even manage moderate free market-based kludges to fix exorbitant prices in the telecom industry. In 2019, the Canadian Radio, Television and Telecommunications Commission, or CRTC, lowered the wholesale price of broadband service, the rate at which the big incumbents sell to independent internet providers. In 2021, they admitted their mistake and reversed the decision in a major win for the Telecom Oligopoly. Consumer internet prices went up. One independent provider is 5 fighting that reversal, petitioning the government to reverse the reversal and lower broadband wholesale rates once more, but this fight will not conclude anytime soon. The Rogers-Shaw merger is the latest test of the country's resolve when it comes to protecting telecom consumers. The record of the Liberal government on file gives little to be hopeful for, but one day perhaps Canadians will have had enough of the nonsense and will push en masse for a permanent solution to a long-term problem that makes them poorer and ensures they get less service for more money. The good news is that the solution is just sitting there, just waiting for the political will to do the right thing. That wraps up this episode of Telecom NewsBytes, brought to you by 911 Inform, delivering next-generation 911 solution for Kerry's Law and the Ray-Bombs Act compliance today, and making every second count when it matters the most. Visit them on the web at 911inform.com. I'm Mark Fletcher, and I'm Vice President of Public Safety Solutions at 911 Inform. Follow me on Twitter at Fletch911. Check out all my blogs and podcasts. That's on Fletch.tv. And be sure to like and subscribe so you'll be notified whenever a new podcast is published. Telecom NewsBytes is published every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and is available on podcast platforms such as Apple Podcast, Spotify, and the iHeartRadio network. Thanks so much for listening. We'll catch you next time. Stay safe and take care.